Welcome to An Unconventional Life, a podcast where we share stories about the crazy 1% out there who earned their doctoral degrees and then went on to use them in crazy, cool, unique, and unconventional ways. Here's your host, astrophysicist turned teacher, author, dissertation coach, and more, Dr. Russell Strickland.
Hello and welcome to An Unconventional Life Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Russell Strickland, the founder and CEO of Dissertation Done and Expand Your Authority. Today, I've got a special episode. Today is our 50th episode of An Unconventional Life. And there's a lot of stuff that we have going on this week. And so I want to tell you all about it. This is going to be a short one, but it's going to be jammed packed with really interesting stuff. And I want you guys to be able to take action on all of it. So, number one, this week, I am going to be launching my new book. It's right here. You can see it if you're on YouTube. It's called Fast-Track Your Dissertation. And it is a wonderful book to help folks figure out how to overcome the hurdles that they face in the dissertation process. The way that I'm going through and setting up the book launch, though, is really special. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be conducting a book launch along with a fundraiser. And I'm just getting you some information here. I want to pull up the right information to give you. You can go to nationaldissertationday.org/give. That's nationaldissertationday.org/give. And there you'll see that you can get my book as part of an Indiegogo crowdsourcing campaign. But not only is the book available there, half of the proceeds from every pledge are going to go directly to a very worthy cause, a charity. A person I met on this podcast named Dr. Hobie Whitler, and she works with folks on the autistic spectrum, works with creative adult autistic people. And what they do is they might be filmmakers, videographers, they may produce music or do songwriting, lots and lots of creative things. And they need help. They need help presenting themselves, being able to get the employment they need. You see, she brought several of these folks onto my podcast, and I was absolutely blown away by them. What they could do was just absolutely amazing. They need to be out there in the world, in the marketplace, contributing to our society, making this world a better place. And Dr. Ham is making it happen. She does a Shark Tank-like event called the Reactor Room, where she brings in people that could benefit from the talents that some of her clients have, and actually see what those folks are able to do. She helps them to build their portfolios, and they come into work every day working on projects within Spectrum Fusion, just like any other working adult. But they need transportation to get to work. You see, most of them can't get a driver's license, and so they need an Uber every day to work from work. They need to be paid for the work that they do. Spectrum Fusion believes that these folks aren't coming in working for a charity. They are adults. They are producing valuable work, and they should be compensated for it. And they also need equipment to do their work. As an employer, Spectrum Fusion obviously has to pay for the computers and the cameras, the lights and the sandbags and the editing equipment. All of that is something that Spectrum Fusion has to provide in order for these people to be able to do their jobs. And then when they're able to build out their portfolios, Dr. Ham puts on this grand event, the Reactor Room, where people come in and see exactly what these folks are capable of and what they've been doing. And many of them are able to find gainful employment that way. It's an amazing cause, an amazing charity, and I am so honored and thrilled to be able to support them. Now, so I mentioned a couple of things. I want to break it down for you just a second. What we're doing is it's an unconventional book launch. There's 3 parts. There's the book, which is right here. There's the cause, Spectrum Fusion. I've already talked about that a little bit. And then there's a show. Yes, there's going to be a show. The show is on National Dissertation Day, Monday, April 26th. It's the Dissertation Success Summit. I'm bringing in over 24 people who've earned their doctoral degrees, and they're all going to be talking about their #1 dissertation challenge, how they overcame it, and then some of the amazing opportunities that followed. Now, for some of you in my audience, you may have already completed your dissertation, or you may not even be a doctoral student. What do I care about all of this stuff? Well, let me tell you, my coach sent us out an email recently where she mentioned that, when someone gives you some new advice or presents a new strategy or technique or something, the normal person, the typical person, is going to say, that doesn't apply to me. They're not going to worry about it, right? They're going to move on and not think about it and not do the work to think, how does that apply to me? What can I do to take this idea and make it valuable to my life, to my business, to my career, to my family? How can I make this apply to me? And that's what's going to be going on at the Dissertation Success Summit. We're going to be talking a lot, strictly speaking, about dissertation projects and how folks got them done. But we're also going to be talking about some of the amazing career opportunities that they've discovered since graduating, and how those traits that help them to get their dissertation done also help them to succeed in their careers. So amazing, valuable advice for you there. You can sign up to attend the Dissertation Success Summit for free by going to nationaldissertationday.org/2021-summit. So that's 2021-SUMMIT. And again, that's nationaldissertationday.org. So that's what I have going on here this week. It's a lot. I've been working like crazy to get this ready for everybody, and I am so super excited about it. I want to break things down a little bit more, though. Again, the book, Fast-Track Your Dissertation, it goes through a lot of the strategies and philosophies that I use with my own dissertation students. We talk about when you should follow your chair's advice. We talk about finding a topic you're passionate about, whether that's a good idea or not. I'm just flipping through here. How are you supposed to know exactly what your committee and your chair wants from you? When you should follow your chair's advice. I think I may have mentioned that one already. Just continuing to flip through here and see what else we've got. This is a book that comes from all of the discussions that I have with doctoral students every single day, and all of the things that I see, the traps I see them getting caught up in. And so I hope that you reach out to us and get a copy of this. Fast-Track Your Dissertation. You can do that again by going to nationaldissertationday.org, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to do this as part of National Dissertation Day to launch this book. It's nationaldissertationday.org/give, because remember, along with the book, there's that super worthy cause, that fundraiser for Spectrum Fusion. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about the show. We're going to be starting Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So you guys in the California and the Great West areas want to get up super early to get started. Anyone who participates in the fundraiser is automatically going to be an MVP for the Dissertation Success Summit. I'm going to tell you more about that in a little bit. But anyone who signs up by going to, once again, I'll give you that URL. It is nationaldissertationday.org/2021-summit. You go there, you can sign up and get in on the fun. So who's going to be there? First up, well, just going in alphabetical order. So the show order is going to be different, but in alphabetical order. First up, we have Dr. Chaz Austin. Dr. Austin talks about self-marketing for the gig economy. Are you kidding me? Who out there doesn't see this as being valuable? And learning how to self-market in any scenario helps you, even if you work for a major company. But so many people are doing side hustles and hanging out shingles. I know a lot of my students, they'll come to me after they graduate. They want to write a book just like this. And if you want to do that, reach out. We'll talk about it. And they want to get out there into the world and be able to help people. They want to make the world a better place, but they need to be able to let folks know that they are out there, that they're available. And self-marketing for the gig economy is an awesome topic. Can't wait to talk to Dr. Austin. Next up, we've got Dr. William Barry, one of my early podcast guests. And he is I forgot how he put it exactly, but I like to call him a robot ethicist. He works with a a conversational AI, essentially a robot that's able to talk to them and carry on conversations and remember the things that they've done and the things they've talked about, and develop a sense of who he is and what sort of things he would want to talk about, what kind of responses he would be looking for. It's a wonderful, wonderful, rich area that he's working in, basically talking to what amounts to a child. But can we teach this child made of silicon and copper and whatnot to be an adult? Can we turn this into a person, so to speak? I know Dr. Berry would jump all over me. They're not people, they're totally different, but how people perceive these new AIs is going to be very important in the coming years. So he's a wonderful person to talk to, and you'll learn a lot from his presentation. Then next up, we've got Dr. Sarah Beth Burke. She is a hybrid professional identity expert. So what does that mean? How many of you, you've heard of people like, they say Beyonce's a triple threat, right? With, singer, dancer, songwriter, or, people are actor, director, singer, or whatever the case may be. You see that a lot in the entertainment industry, but in all industries, people are doing that slash thing, right? Where they do this and that and the other. And they found their own special niche that they operate in because of that. Well, what Dr. Sarah Beth Burke has done is kind of developed a way of identifying yourself to someone in terms of all of the things you do. Instead of saying I'm a this slash that slash the other, you can actually identify yourself with a very specific and unique title. So Dr. Sarah Beth Burke's presentation will be a lot of fun. Then I have one of my old friends, Dr. David Braswell. He was a student of Dissertation Done years back. He has a business called Upslopes, where he works with school districts and helps them write professional codes of conduct for their teachers. He has a lot of interesting stories, does some great work, and I can't wait for you guys to meet Dr. David Braswell. Next up, we have Dr. Eric Carlton. Apologies to Dr. Braswell. I'm speeding up a little bit here because I'm looking at a long list, and I want you guys to be able to attend the show. If I keep going, we're going to be halfway through the show before I finish explaining who everybody is. So Dr. Eric Carlton is actually one of my recent students, and he has a book coming out on government auctions and how you're able to do very, very well in terms of one of those side hustles we were talking about with respect to Dr. Austin, by purchasing things at government auction and then selling them for a profit. Really interesting, some of the stories he has and some of the things that he's been able to do. Dr. Darren Detweiler is a food safety expert. He has worked tirelessly to help make our food safer in this country. And some of his stories were also very interesting. He was a guest on my podcast. Dr. Todd Dewitt is a dynamic individual. He's a professional public speaker, and he's a leadership expert. So always wonderful stories and lots of lessons learned with Dr. Todd Dewitt. Dr. Francisca Innie is another one of our Expand Your Authority students. Her book has come out recently, and it's about how parents can spend 15 minutes a day helping their kids to improve academically and get A's, B's, and honor roll. Is her book, and can't wait to share some of that with you. Dr. Seth Francois is in music and film production, and he was a blast last time I talked to him. Can't wait to catch up with Dr. Francois. Dr. Jennifer Gardella is a social media expert, and how many of you out there use social media in some way, perhaps associate with your job or your business? Dr. Gardella is going to have a number of interesting tidbits for us on that. Dr. Justin Golston is a blast. He is super fun to talk with. He is one of the top experts in the world on supply chain management. And if you think, oh, boring, wait until you talk to Dr. Golston. It is not when he talks about it anyway. Dr. Arlene Greenfield, yet another one of our graduates from the Expand Your Authority program. Her book will be coming out soon, and it's about Teachers Unleashed. So those of you who are in education, a direct application to you guys there. Dr. Heidi Ham is kind of one of our stars, our guest of honor. She is the founder of Spectrum Fusion, which I talked to you about already, and she's going to be bringing on some of her folks so that you guys can see what they're doing and what they're up to. And just a wonderful time. I so much enjoy spending some time with Dr. Ham. Dr. Sandra Ingram is a life coach. I worked with Sandra several years ago for her to get her dissertation done. And now she's got a book out. She's doing all sorts of wonderful things. And I can't wait for you to meet Dr. Ingram. Dr. Pensacola Jefferson. The list is long, folks. It's a long list. We're going to be at this all day. It's like a 9-hour event on Monday. It's going to be powerful, powerful. Dr. Pensacola Jefferson is an author, a multiple author. I would go so far as to say a multiple author. She's written so many books since I worked with her on her dissertation, and always has such wonderful words of advice. I can't wait for you guys to meet Dr. Jefferson. Dr. Mike Lovefield is a superintendent. He is also a multiple author. I think he has 3 books, so he would be quite embarrassed to sit next to Dr. Jefferson with all the books that she's written, but he's a wonderful, wonderful guy. He's written 3 really nice books in the areas of education and leadership. He is a school superintendent and has been for quite a number of years. And in addition to being an author, he is also a consultant in that educational space. Then next up, we have Dr. D. Anthony Miles. Dr. D. Anthony Miles is an entrepreneurship and marketing expert. And all of his clients just love him. I remember when he was on the podcast, all the wonderful comments that were coming back from his clients about Dr. about Dr. Miles's appearance. And can't wait for you guys to meet Dr. D. Anthony Miles. Dr. Lisa Orbe Austin is an imposter syndrome expert. Raise your hand if you've ever had imposter syndrome. Anybody who has anything to do with a doctoral degree, you better have your hand up. I have heard it time and time again from folks on my podcast, guests who've gone through the dissertation process, from my own students, from students that I've talked to over the years. Everybody feels this imposter syndrome at some point in their life. And Dr. Lisa Orbe Austin has literally written the book on this. So great advice coming from her. Then Dr. Marlo Rincher, one of my favorites. She is a business anthropologist. And I told her that was the very first time I think I'd have ever spoken to an anthropologist, and certainly a business anthropologist. And she said she was honored to be the first anthropologist. Very interesting. She characterizes herself as a little bit of Dilbert meets Indiana Jones. And so I think that was very apropos. She works in Detroit and helps businesses in sort of an incubator-like setting. We'll have some wonderful stories and advice to share with you. Dr. Terry Rouse is part of my own mastermind. We work under the same coach. She's a child behavioral expert, and she helps parents deal with some of these issues related to their children, and helps parents to understand what's going on with the child and how to bring that child to where you would like it to be behaviorally. Dr. Cassandra Serino. Dr. Cassandra Serino is a college preparation expert, and had her on my podcast some time ago, and scheduled an appointment with her afterwards because my son in high school had informed me, Dad, I want to go to medical school. And I was like, oh my God, we got to figure out how to do this. And so I called up Dr. Serino, and she was wonderful. And she'll be a great help in explaining how some of this works. If you have kids that are of the age of getting ready to ascend to college or going through college and want to continue their education, she's a great resource. But in addition to that, just the experience that she brings is wonderful. Dr. Hobie Whitler is an entrepreneur, a chemist, and a visionary. And he's very, very interesting. He's completely blind, has been since birth, if I remember what he told me correctly, or very early on. And he graduated in organic chemistry. He got his PhD in organic chemistry. For those of you who are familiar, the way that material is presented is highly visual. And he developed a number of innovations while he was in graduate school to help him through graduate school. He was amazing. And then he's done all sorts of fun things since then, like, as one example, hosting truly blind taste tests for the Francis Ford Coppola Winery. I thought that was a super cool story, and I'll let him share more of it. But excellent and fun person for us to talk with. And then finally, I have on the docket Dr. Andrea Wong, and we are not quite sure. She's one of our students with Expand Your Authority. And she's not quite sure if she'll be able to make it Monday, but very excited to talk to her. She's a child performance expert, and her book is on things that you can do to help your child perform, not just in the classroom, but in general. And it's a really interesting and fun read. And I can't wait for her to talk about that. So that's the list. It's not short. You might be saying, it took a long time for him to introduce all those people. How in the world am I going to sit through all of these presentations on Monday? I've got a job, I've got other responsibilities, and I hear you. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to be a VIP with the summit. I want you to be a Dissertation Success Summit VIP. And the way you do that is you go to participate in the fundraiser, get a book, make a pledge of any amount that we have set up. There are 13 pledges to choose from, I think. And for as little as $5 if you're quick, $10 if you're slow, because we have an early bird special that will sell out, you can be one of our backers, and every one of our backers will be a VIP for the summit. Well, what does that mean? How does that help me? Because the summit's still 9 hours long, right? Except that is the only way you can get the video recordings of the summit. It will not be replayed. It will not be made available in any other way at this point. It will be available to those people who are backers of my book launch. And for as little as $10, you can get, if you take a little while, once the early bird special is only $5. So once the early bird special is gone, for as little as $10, you can be a VIP to the summit. It's wonderful. Most of these summits, that's going to be at least a $30, $40, $50 ticket. I've seen somewhere it's $100. We've got a huge slate of guests coming in, and I can't wait for you to hear them, listen to their stories. They're a ton of fun. And in addition to that, intensely valuable. You will learn a lot. You'll discover things about yourself, about your dissertation, and about your path through life. And I'm not underselling it or overselling it to say that. So again, I want to thank you for being here with me for my 50th episode. I cannot believe it. 50 episodes of An Unconventional Life podcast. This one's been a little bit different, but I definitely wanted to tell you about everything going on here. I'm super excited about the new book, and I want to get this into your hands before it officially goes live. And so definitely give a look at our Indiegogo by going to nationaldissertationday.org/give. If you just want to sign up for the summit, it is totally free. nationaldissertationday.org/2021-summit. And as always, this episode has been brought to you by Dissertation Done, where we help adult doctoral students through the dissertation process. If you are approaching the dissertation process and you proactively want to get a coach, reach out to me at dissertationdone.com/done. If you're in the midst of a dissertation process and you need to react to some of the things that are going on, reach out to me the same place, dissertationdone.com/done. And then if you want to think about things a little bit differently, if you want to launch your own book so that you can be recognized as an expert in your field, so that you can say that you literally wrote the book on your area of expertise, reach out to me at dissertationdone.com/book, and we'll have a conversation about our Expand Your Authority program. So happy Dissertation Day, happy National Dissertation Day to everyone. Please go out and get a copy of my book, support Spectrum Fusion in that worthy cause. And I love to see you on National Dissertation Day at the Dissertation Success Summit. And if I don't see you there, I want to make sure you see me, because I want you to be a VIP. I want you to be a backer for our fundraiser/book launch, and we'll get you those recordings so that you can review those words of wisdom at your leisure. You can see some of them over and over again, because I'm sure you'll want to, and that'll be all available to you if you back our book launch. So I look forward to seeing you there. And for now, have a great day and go out and live your unconventional life.
This has been An Unconventional Life. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe now to keep getting inspirational stories of unconventional lives as soon as they're released. Until then, go out and live your best unconventional life.